Hello and welcome to our latest unboxing video. I am Eliza and I'm here today with a box of adult fiction and nonfiction books. It is a really big box. I'm going to show you the box. Wait, it's so big. This is the entire box. But before you panic that this is going to be a really long video, the box is only half full. And also, I'll just go through them pretty quickly because you just want to see what we have and then we'll move on. And normally I save like the specialist books. Sometimes I save them to the end, but you know, it's been a long winter, a really long winter. So we are going to start out with, this is not a drill, 100 cookies, the baking book for every kitchen. And this just seems like the cover just seems kind of charmingly accessible. And the cookies look absolutely delicious. Like those look like, I feel like extra delicious chocolate chip cookies. This is by Sarah Kieffer. And here in Massachusetts, winter left briefly to let us know, remind us what it's like when we don't have winter, and then it came right back. So this is the perfect time if you're just hunkered down in your kitchen to try a new cookie recipe, and they all look really delicious. 100 cookies. Ah! So excited. And one more cookbook. I think these are the only two cookbooks. But this one also looks really delicious and kind of like a good one for winter. It's called Jew-ish, so it's kind of like a pun, and it's reinvented recipes from a modern mensch, and they look really good. Particularly the soup is looking really good to me today, I think. And I've never actually made matzo ball soup, so maybe I will try it. Okay, now we're into like the main box. Sanjay Gupta MD. And this is called Keep Sharp, Build a Better Brain at Any Age. And I know a lot of people worry about brains and maybe failing a little bit, so he might have some good advice. This is an interesting one. This is by Lisa Jewell. This is The Truth About Melody Browne. Lisa Jewell is an sort of like a mystery family drama sort of mix type writer. I really enjoy her books personally. And this is actually a paperback one of one she wrote years ago. So I think now that she's getting so much more popular, they're like, oh, maybe people will go back and read the old ones. And I definitely have patrons who have just been asking for all of her books. So I'm sure that they will be happy to go back and read this. The Push. Ooh, this book is getting a lot of buzz. It's by Ashley Audrain, and it's about a woman who has a daughter and then sort of, I think, worries that her daughter maybe has some sociopathic tendencies, but her husband doesn't believe her. And then she has another son, and things are so different with the son that makes her feel even more strongly about the daughter. It sounds like a little bit of a stressful book to me, but really good reviews. And again, this is like an actual thing in the world where sometimes, you know, parents do feel this way, even though it's kind of a horrifying thought. I feel like usually I go like this. I'm going to switch sides. This is called, sorry, there's a little bit of glare here. This is called The Yellow Wife, and it's by Sadiqa Johnson. And it's, oh wow. So it takes place on a plantation in Virginia. And it's about a woman who's set apart because her mother is the estate's medicine woman. And so she sort of has like a different more privileged position than the other slaves. But then she ends up in a horrible prison. Wow. Whew. Okay, this is Under the White Sky, The Nature of the Future. Whoa, by Elizabeth Kolbert. We're getting a lot of like heavy hitters here. She's the author of The Sixth Extinction. I often read her articles in the New Yorker. And this is a look at can we change nature this time in order to save it? So she's looking at people who are trying to stop the human impacts of the earth. And it says, oh, this sounds really interesting. It says she meets with biologists and engineers in Iceland and Australian researchers researching coral. So it sounds like she's sort of going around the world interviewing these different people and finding out what they are doing. Next up, 1,000 Ships. Ooh, we are getting this on audio. But the audio haven't come in yet, so we still have to wait. And this is a retelling of the Trojan War from the perspective of women. Oh, I'm glad we're getting the audio too on that. That sounds like it would be, I don't know. Good. Ooh, this, I feel like this sort of fits in. The cover kind of fits in, even though it's totally a different book. Exercise, why something we never evolved to do is healthy and rewarding. And this is by Daniel E. Lieberman. It's got kind of a little bit of an academic look to it, but I think that people will be interested because, I mean, this is like a big part of our lives. It says a myth-busting book tells the story of how we didn't evolve to exercise, but it actually is good for us. And then it says we'll revolutionize the way we think about exercising. I was having a little trouble getting myself incentivized to exercise, so I got a pedometer. And now I take more steps every day. The Power Couple by Alex Berenson. I feel like I'm getting Alex Berenson mixed up with Alex Finley, but they're both sort of thriller writers. I think this is maybe more of like a slightly political thriller. Anyways, it's about a couple who seem to have it all, healthy kids. One of them works for the FBI. One of them works for the National Security Agency. But then, I mean, something's got to happen. They go to Europe, and then one of their daughters gets abducted. Yeah, see, something's bad always has to happen. Susan Mallery, The Vineyard at Painted Moon. I mean, maybe something bad doesn't have to happen. I feel like this cover suggests that nice things are happening. Oh, no, never mind. I think something is going to happen. It's a woman who, it takes place at a winery, which is a very lovely setting for a novel. And then I am so confused by this blurb. Sorry, give me a sec to make sense of the blurb. Okay. So everything belongs to her husband, and then they get a divorce. And so she has to give it all up and kind of like figure out her life, I guess. J.A. Jance, Missing and Endangered. A Brady novel of suspense. So this is part of a series. We have like 4 more books. Good Neighbors, 5 more books. Just kidding. This is Good Neighbors by Sarah Langan. And this is, I read about this book before, but now I've already forgotten. A very suburban Long Island neighborhood, and they have like the illusion of safety, and then new neighbors move in, and they don't fit in, their children swear, and then, again, tensions mount, and then a sinkhole opens, and one of the daughters falls inside, and I hope she's okay. Well, now I'm already worried. Sinkholes are kind of terrifying. Infinite Country, Patricia Engel. I think you can survive. You just have to get the person back out. Okay, I'm going to focus on this book now. Stop worrying about the sinkhole. So, Infinite Country by Patricia Engel, and this is about a girl in a correctional facility. She was violent, and she needs to get back to her home country, which is, she lives in Colombia. She needs to get back home to Bogota because her dad is going to the United States, and if she misses going with him, she might not see her family who live in the United States. This sounds like it is one of those books that has a lot of things going on, and there's a romance, and there's a civil war, there's social unrest, but definitely interesting. And I have not read that many books set in Colombia, so that is one I think I will take a look at. This is called, this is fun because I like Amber Ruffin. She's a comedian, and it's by her and her sister, Lacey Lamar. And it says, you'll never believe what happened to Lacey. I think Lacey is also a comedian who lives in Iowa, and this is crazy stories about racism. So like things that Lacey has told to Amber. And they're both really funny women. Final two. That was your sneak preview. Which one to go first? I'm going to go with this one. Iris Johansen and Roy Johansen, Blink of an Eye. And this is a thriller. Oh, you can see a picture of the two of them on the back. I think that they are mother and son. Yes, and doesn't really say if this is part of a series. Oh no, it's featuring investigator Kendra Michaels. And last one, this is called How the South Won the Civil War. This is an interesting one because it was actually published last year and we sort of missed it when it first came out. Lots of times we try to get the books when they first come out and then sometimes we miss them. But this one has just gotten more and more popular because it's by Heather Cox Richardson, who also writes sort of a daily political column that's just becoming more and more popular. So a lot of people are going back now and wanting to read her book, and it has a lot of holds on it. So yeah, I was happy to go back and get it. We always want to give people what they want at the library. That's it. That's my box. My gigantic box is now empty, and I'm done. That did feel like a lot of books, even though the box was only halfway through. But that's even better because now we can get them out on the shelf and get people reading them. Bye.